Hi everyone. Welcome to the last installment of my Christmas junk journal. As you can see, it's grown quite a lot since the last time we were together. Quite a lot. And before I show you what all I've done in here, I wanted to work on a few more little embellishments to go inside it, and then I will do a flip through. So I'm going to just move it out of the way for now and get some things brought in to put together. The first thing is I've got a couple of elements here to make a tea bag. I've taken a tea bag and opened it up. This is a used tea bag, and I put a little bit of white gesso on it, and I'm just simply going to glue a couple of pieces to it. This is a piece of tissue paper, and this is part of a napkin. In fact, it's part of the same napkin that I used when I created this little tag. So I thought I would put a small piece on a tea bag, and it would just make a cute little embellishment, a little piece of ephemera. So I'm just going to get some glue. This is my glue and water mixture that I always use. Well, not always, but a lot of the time lately I've used it. And I'm going to put a little bit of the glue down and then just place these two items, and then we'll let it dry. Once it's dry, I'll come back and put it back together again. Okay, so it's all glued down. I like the way the text is showing through where the floral piece is laid on top. I love that. So I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll come back to it again in a few minutes. All right, another thing I have is a tag that I made from a Christmas card. And of course it was a wider card, and I just cut it down into a slender shape and then cut the corners to make a tag. And on the back I've glued down some junk. This is from some fun little snacks that I had here during the holidays, and I thought this would be a cute way to remember and save some of that excitement, because that is fun. I really enjoy my treats at Christmas during the holidays. So what I did was I've gone ahead and punched some holes along the top of the tag, and I'm just going to stitch a little bit right there at the top just to put a little bit of stitching into the journal. I just think it will be really fun. So I'm going to just hold on to the tail here. I may come back to this end and then I'll tie it. We'll see what happens. That is very cute. All right, so that's going to go in my journal, and I will show you that in a little bit. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to make a little paper clip. I showed you guys how I took a piece of product packaging and I stuck this little label that I had created on one of my printables, and I stuck it on here, and it fit so perfectly and made the cutest little tag. So while I was rummaging through my little basket of goodies over there, I found another tag that was cut in very similar shape. I mean, it's almost identical. The size and everything, it really surprised me that it was so similar. So I thought I would make a hidden paper clip with this piece on one side and this tag on the other side. and the paper clip will be hidden in the middle. So I want to put this here and cut it to the right length. Okay. So I have a piece of like sturdy craft paper here, and what's going to happen is I'll end up gluing these two pieces to the top of this paper, just like this, and the paper clip will be glued underneath here. I'll show you. So I'm going to put my paper clip on. Actually, I think I want to get a metal paper clip. All right, so I have the little metal paper clip. I just chose this one because the one with the plastic on it is a little thicker, and we don't need it to be too thick. Okay, so typically when you make these, you want an item that is one piece and you fold it over, and that way this is completely hidden. The paper clip on top is completely hidden. So what I might do is just put a little piece of fabric or something. No, I'll use cardstock. Let's see. Something that's sturdy. Okay, that should work. So we just need a little piece of this to kind of glue in between these two pieces. Doesn't need to be real big. All right, and I'm going to fold it in half. All right, and then I'm going to glue this to that. It's kind of cute because you get to see a little bit of the paper. And this one is a teal color, so I don't know how that's going to look, but it doesn't look too bad. All right, I do need to take a little bit more off of this. I think that'll be good. All right, so let's put it together. Okay, so now we have a piece that folds. Okay, so when this is glued to this brown paper, the paper clip will be completely covered. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes, then we'll come back to it. So while that's drying and the tea bag is drying, I've got another little item here. This is a piece of the Amazon bag that I made the journal with to start with. The inside, you know, is made out of one of these envelopes. And this was a little piece of it that was left over, and I had taken some fabric and was testing my sewing machine before I started to sew around my journal, just to make sure that the tension was right on my thread and everything. And when I pulled this out, I thought, that is so cute, I'm going to make something out of that. Because it's just adorable. Like that should not go to waste. That's perfect in a junk journal. So I decided I would create a little bit of a cluster with it. And I've got some little items. This is just a piece of an old dictionary page. I'm going to put that on. And let's see, here's my glue stick. Yeah, I just think it's going to be just a fun little playful bit. And that's what we all love, is simple, fun, playful bits. Okay, I'm going to pull up the fabric here and just kind of tuck this piece underneath, that edge there underneath the fabric. There we go. Already cute, look at that. Just adding a little piece of book paper. All right. And then, let's see, I have a little piece of mistletoe that was cut from another brown paper bag. I don't remember what store this came from, but the inside gusset, the side gussets were just filled with these little images, so I cut a bunch of them out, and then I thought that would look really cute with this brown paper, but I needed a layer in between. That's why I put the book paper right here. Then I actually found a little embellishment that actually says mistletoe, and I've got a little scrap from my gift wrap that I was using in the journal, and I thought how cute that would all be on there together. This is just a ripped piece from planner, and I thought I would put a little bit of white underneath that. I did distress it just a little tiny bit, but I thought that would look really cute on the bottom layer. So let me see how I want to put this together. I'm thinking that I'm going to end up cutting a little bit of this off, but let's see if this is here, and the mistletoe will be kind of at the top. I think that would be cute there. And then this could go in here. I'm not sure if I need the word mistletoe, but I kind of like it, although I don't really want it to be in an arrow. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to just cut it out so that I can keep the word and the little bit of green, but I don't really need the arrow portion. And see if I like that better. If I don't, no big deal. I'll put it in the box and use it again next time. Next year, whenever. It's kind of cute with the flag on the end, though. Little flag bit. Let me cut that a little straighter. I'm scissor challenged, you know. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's kind of cute. Just for a little scrappy bit thrown together. I love it. Okay, so let's just tear off some of this because I don't need the whole thing. I love just being able to pick up a few scraps and just stick them together, make a little cluster, and it works. It works. It just always works, you know. No matter what you pick up to use, it'll work. I just think that's awesome. All right, and I think I'm going to tear the paper just kind of like that. And then I'm going to cut this here. And we'll go ahead and fray it a little bit. Snip some of these threads. I want to keep them, but I didn't need them to be quite that long. I think that's very cute. And now we can put this piece on the white. And the reason I need the white piece at the back is because of the page it's going to go on. And you'll get to see that in a little bit. But I just love how that looks. It's so fun. How cute. That's so fun. Okay. All right. So that one is ready and it will be drying, and I'll get ready to put it in the book in a few minutes. Very fun. I love it. Okay, let's see how our paper clip is coming along. If it's gotten dry, glue here has gotten dry. It's not completely dry. I can still feel it's a little bit cold, but I think it's dry enough to work with. So now I just need to trim the brown paper around the actual pieces of the clip. Obviously, it would work better if both pieces are identical, like one piece of folded rectangle or something like that. But we're making it work. I apologize. I think I forgot to turn the camera back on after I had stopped a moment ago, and I had continued, but I didn't get very far before I caught it. So all I did was I folded my tea bag back into shape, folded the sides in, and then there's a little gusset in the bottom, and I just folded that up and folded the back into place, and then the top folds down into like a little triangle shape like that, and then the top of that folds down like that. So we have our little tea bag back together. And then I had taken a regular tea tag. I'm going to leave the back of it. This is a Bigelow tea. I'm going to leave the back of it just like this because it's a green color, which is great for Christmas, and it will just remind me that it was an actual tea bag tag. And then on the reverse side, I just had a little sheet of stickers, and I just took one of those stickers and covered the tag. And the sticker was a little bit smaller, narrower, and so I had to trim it just a little bit on each side, but I think it looks great. So that's all I have done so far on the tea bag, but I think it's really cute. I think I'll take the Posca pen and go around the outside edge just to brighten it up a little tiny bit. Just kind of makes it stand out a little bit better. So that's what we end up with. Little tag like that, and it's green on the back. All right, I need to get my little stapler out. All right, and we'll just put the string in place right here. I think I'm gonna make a little knot so that the string doesn't pull out. Okay. And I'll just have that right on the top there. I don't really know that I need that much string either. Maybe I'll snip that off, make it a little bit shorter. There we go. And we'll make the knot again. String off the end. Okay. Yeah, that's cute. I like that length better. Okay, and everything is just folded like it should be, and I'm just going to staple it right across the top of the string like that. And see, by putting a knot there, this won't come out. So there we go. We got a little tea bag and a little Christmassy tag on it. All right, now that's ready to go in the journal. Get these scraps off of the desk. The last item that I'm gonna put together real quick for you is I have a little piece of coffee stained fabric, and I'm just going to cut a strip of this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a couple of words onto the fabric. And get it ready to go in the journal. Let's see. So we have the fabric that says "So Sweet," and you'll see why it's spelled that way once we get it in the book. And then I'm going to take the green thread that I was using earlier, and I'm just going to put a couple of little stitches on either end, just some simple little straight stitches. I unthreaded my needle, but it's good because this gives me an opportunity to show you. You know, I told you about these needles that have the large eye, and even with a large eye, it's hard to thread embroidery floss, especially when you've got all the strands there. So I just wanted to show you an easy way of threading this. I may have shown this before. Let me see if I can bring you in a little bit closer so I don't have to hold the thing so high. Okay, I may have shown this before, but just in case I didn't, or if there's anybody new here who may not have seen it, what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to thread all those loose ends into the eye, I'm going to fold the floss over the needle. Just fold it right over the eye of the needle, just like that. And then if you pinch it very close to the needle and then slide the needle out, you've got a folded edge that goes through the needle eye much easier. You just kind of push it and kind of wiggle the needle through, and see there, it goes through there pretty good. I think I missed one piece, but I think it's pulling on up. Yeah. So it's just much easier to get the thread to go through the eye of the needle if you do it like that. So it's just a little hint. Okay. So let me get this last stitch here, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so we have two little rows of cute little stitches. Okay, let's flip through. So, yes, it's pretty chunky and so full of fun. I have had the best time. I did attach some strips of the fabric that I used on the spine and on the inside covers. And what I did was just tear a couple of strips off, and I attached them with just an eyelet here, and I just folded the strip in half and looped it over just like you would on a tag, and I did that on the front and the back covers. I also put an eyelet on the spine so that I could attach my little button strings with a bulb pin right here. So I like that. They look cute dangling there on the outside of the book, and they'll look cute on the shelf that way. All right, so let's see what's inside. You can see how it's how thick it is. Okay, this little piece right here was on a Starbucks bag, and it was a couple years ago, and just like everything else I'd been collecting, you know, for a few years. And so I found this and I loved it because, of course, this was created by hand and a lot of heart went into it. And I love the fact that it's created by hand and that's my last name. So I think that's pretty fun. And then I just use stickers here for the date. And then we just have a tag in here, and I haven't completely finished this book. It's just ready for me to now do a little journaling and add a few photos. And so that's what I'll be doing off camera. So I added a little heart here that wasn't there before, and I added a strip of this gold washi tape at the top and bottom. Okay, and then I have a tiny bit of journaling in here so far, not a whole lot, but I do have some. Okay, so this was on that little tag, and it just talks about how I'm having so much fun creating my first Christmas junk journal. And I explained that the cover is made from an Amazon envelope that's covered in fabric. And I'm filling it with fun things from my stash, creating videos as I go, and loving every second, which I am. So you guys saw these little tags. I did add a little colorful bow on this one. I thought that added a lot to that. And so those go inside the little sweater pocket, which is really intended for a gift card holder, but you know, we can use them for whatever we want. Okay, and I did add a little arrow up here that says, "Oh, what fun." Okay, and then over here I added a little photo and a nutcracker tag. Oh, and I do need to show you the edge here because this will be on a few of the pages. I took the cover fabric, this ticking fabric, and I had some scraps left over, and so I just folded them in half and put an eyelet in the corner and dangled a little tiny jingle bell. And so those are little tabs that are going throughout the book, and they have a nice little jingly sound. It's not loud and annoying, it's just right, so I love it. And so those will be on several of these pages as I go through. All right, you remember I had the flap here, and I added a little tag. This is from a Christmas card, and I just loved it. And so I did that, and the back of this one has another treat item, which is, this is my all-time favorite Christmas treat, the peppermint bark, and I love it with the dark chocolate the best. I'll eat it with the milk chocolate, but this is my preferred chocolate flavor. So I just tucked it under the flap, and it doesn't stay put very well, so I just added this little red paper clip at the bottom. So there's my snowman page, and I added a little bit more decoration on the quote like I said I would. And I just love how it turned out. It's just very sweet. Okay, this is a little watercolor painting that I did back in 2019. I was following along with Marry Me Small Art. She was making some Christmas cards, and so I got out some watercolors and decided to give it a try, and it was fun. This is also a Christmas card, a part of a Christmas card, and I had a little bit of decoration on the inside of the card, so that's perfect for journaling, and I'm just leaving that tucked in and ready for that, for journaling. Then this one you saw where I added the coffee cup from the gift wrap into a CD envelope, and I did add some tissue paper and a Santa card that one of my daughters received back in the 80s. Whoops, let me get you back in frame here. It's a sweet little vintage Santa, and I just love it. Then this one has a pocket that was made from a Christmas card, and I did stitch around the outside of the card before I glued it down. A couple more of the little nutcracker tags, and this is an envelope from a card, and I thought it was just so cute. So I thought if I do some extensive journaling, I'll be able to fold it up and tuck it inside there. Okay, this is a sweet little item that was stitched for me by my friend, and I love it so much, so I wanted to put that in there. This is a card that I made by attaching that little junk mail piece that I showed you a couple of times. And so I attached that, and I covered the back in some gift wrap, and so I'll be able to add a photo or something there. But I just love how that turned out. And I love the handmade journaling cards with the drawn lines. To me, that is just so, it's just so fun, and it's so handmade, you know. I just love that style. All right, this is just a little tag that I added here because I thought it went with the vintage theme. And this is an image from a magazine, and it's so cool and retro looking. This tag is a piece of cardstock that I attached a napkin to. Love that. I think I want to put some words down here too. It needs a little bit of something else. And then, of course, another little treat from Christmas. These were mint M&Ms, and they're really good. So if you haven't tried those, you know, next year try the mint M&Ms. They're fun. My family liked them a lot. Here's the little paper clip that we made earlier. I clipped it right onto this page. I wanted to tie in that teal that was on that tag with this tag. These were together in a set of tags. So I thought that made that work. All right, so the other side of the tag, of course, is on this page with all the red and green. And I've left this empty. I'll probably put some journaling or some photos or something here. This is a Christmas card with a giant candy cane. Okay, this one is from a Christmas card of a bunch of teddy bears that are all sitting around making a quilt, which is why I made this little piece here to go on the top of this page. I just thought that would be so cute and so sweet with them sewing together. All right, I made a little cluster with some embellishments to go on this little envelope page, and I made a little tag to go inside. This is from the back of this card, so you can see this is that same little teddy bear. And it's just amazing how you can use so much of the cards. A lot of times they're printed on the back too, or on the inside. So I added a little ribbon and just did some faux stitching with a pin around the outside, and put a piece of scrapbook paper on the back with a very delicate muted pattern so that I can journal on that. All right, and the back side has another teddy bear, and this is also vintage, a vintage sticker, and it's so vintage that when I peeled it off, it had no sticky left on it. I'm surprised that it stayed stuck to the backing, actually. So I ran a glue stick over that and just attached it to the paper bag. Actually, yeah, this was a paper bag, not an envelope. And before I stuck it down, though, I did some stenciling on the bag with a crackle stencil and just used some off-white paint there to just give the background a little bit of texture. Okay, this is Christmas card, kind of a junk mail Christmas card. And I love that one, so I wanted to put it there, and I just left room for some other images and photos. Okay, this is my Christmas card that I made a few of this year, and I just loved how it turned out, and so I wanted to keep one for my journal. It's a scrappy tree that I made with some fabric scraps and some trims, and I just love how it turned out. To me, it was just so colorful and fun. I just really, really loved it. And then I had found this little card template that had some pretty bright colors on it too, so I thought that was just perfect to mount that on there. The tree is actually removable so that I could take it off and put a hanger on it and put it on my tree if I wanted to. But I decided to keep it in my journal. I had shown a picture of these kind of in progress on my Instagram page, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you go over there and do that, because sometimes I will post things there that I don't necessarily make a video about, so that way you can kind of keep up with all the things I'm doing. This one I haven't done anything to yet. I'm probably going to put photos. I keep brushing the pages because there's little glitter pieces everywhere, but I will, fill this up with some photos or some journaling. All right, and then this side is the one that had the little weaving on it. And I had made a pocket, so I put a tag inside. This is the other half of that earlier card where the teddy bears were sitting in the window. So these are the cardinals that were on the other side of the card, and they were also on the inside of the card, so I thought that was just perfect. And then this is just a little piece of sari silk and a little embellishment that I tacked on top of the staples. This is another gorgeous Christmas card. It's very glittery. I hope you can see the glitter on it, but there's words in the background and they're all glittered. So it's really nice. And then I put trim on the edge of that and put another Christmas card on the inside pocket. I cut it down, of course. It was a wider card, but I did cut it down so that it fits right behind there, and it's available for photos and journaling. This page I made a pocket on from a Christmas card that was really bright, really vibrant. And because it was so vibrant and colorful, that's the reason why it lives here next to this bright and colorful page of snowmen. This is another card that I loved, and so I saved the front of that card, and on the back I attached a vintage gift list. It actually came with these stickers. I don't know where that bear is now, but these stickers actually had this in the back of in the bottom of the box, and so it was just a sheet, and so I glued it on, and I thought it would be perfect for journaling or just to attach another picture here. Love the snowman page. I may just leave that one just like it is because they're so fun. They're so fun and colorful. All right, added a little tag here. Right, and then on this page, this is another one of the little scrappy embellishments that I made with fabrics and ribbons. So it's this is the original of the one that I made the printable of. My little tree is on it, and this one, and then another one also that I used fabrics and ribbons on. And I scanned them all and put them on a free printable that's over on my Ko-fi page. So check that out if you would like to get a copy of these ornaments. I just love them. I love how they turned out, and I did add a little piece of wire on this one so that it kind of looks more like a real ornament. So there's a little piece of wire glued to the back here, and then I had a little piece of this greenery, and so I tucked it. So I glued it on the top to represent a tree branch holding the ornaments. This is a card that I tucked in a clear acetate pocket. Then this is the Florida page. This is an old Christmas card that I sent out years ago, and I had an extra one. And so I had made a pocket, and I had attached a little journaling spot there, so I went ahead and wrote in there about how cold it was here on Christmas morning because we really did have a cold Christmas day. It was 25 degrees in the morning, which was pretty cold for us. It rarely gets below freezing here anymore in the winter, and so for it to get that low, it was pretty notable, so I did note it. This is a Christmas card front, which I thought was gorgeous, so I did include that in this big pocket. Nothing here yet, just a little bit of garland, a little tiny mini garland on the side. It's a little trim actually, but it looks like a garland. And of course, you guys know I'm not going to miss an opportunity to have a coffee page, right? So this is my coffee page. It's got a gift card on here. They did gift cards one year that were shaped like the to-go cup, and I loved them. I'm so glad I saved it for my journal, which is the reason I saved it. And then this is actually cut from a cup, a Christmas cup, and this is a puzzle piece that I altered and made a little Christmas coffee altered puzzle piece out of. Love the good stuff, yeah. And this is my favorite coffee that I get during the holidays especially. Sometimes some of the Starbucks will have the peppermint syrup all year round, so if you like that, you can get it year round if your Starbucks happens to be one that carries the peppermint syrup all year. But that's my favorite one. And then this was a precious little card. It had a bear on the front, and I had an extra one, so I put it in here just because it was so sweet. And then this is another sweet little card that I received that also was decorated on the inside, and I like it when it's decorated like that inside. It makes such a cute little card, and it's so easy because I don't have to do any covering on the back. This one is where I put the little snowman vellum piece that came off of a card, and I added an additional little snowman here. It kind of looks like they're kind of visiting one another. This one actually was an envelope. Inside I just tucked a couple of recipe cards that I have that are decorated for Christmas recipes, and I don't know if I'll necessarily put recipes on them, but I may use them to journal on, so that's fun. A fun thing to have an option, you know. Okay, so the back side has some scrapbook paper on it and a little bag that I attached here with some embellishments. And I also made a little tag from the back of a Christmas card. This was printed on, it might have been on the inside, I don't remember. But I just thought it was so cute to make a little tag, and I can put some words, whatever. This also is a reinforcement label. I took some of those, let me see if I can find it. I took just a little bit of those and doodled on them. Here we go. I just doodled with some markers and made some fun little tag reinforcement. And so I used this one here where I had just made simple stripes on it, and it just makes it so fun, so festive. This is another Christmas card front and a little embellishment that I put here with a piece of ribbon, and I put the ribbon also down here with a chipboard button. This is a big chipboard button, and I sewed it right here, and I attached this little plastic snowflake. And I put the sewing on before I attached it to the page so that it looks like it's sewn to the page, but it's not really. I just glued it on afterwards. And then the next page was this real bright, colorful one that I had covered in gift wrap. And I took a napkin and covered a piece of cardstock and put that here, and it flips up like this. And I used some washi tape here to attach it. It's hard to see it, but there's little tiny gold dots on it, and they sparkle when the light hits it just right, so I love that. And I didn't want it to get caught down here when I was opening and closing the pages, so I attached a little snowflake embellishment here, and I only glued it at the bottom so that this would just tuck right down there behind it and hold it down. So I like that. Here's a little Christmas card that I also loved, and so I kept the front of it and made a pocket, and I stamped, like I did for the So Sweet on the teddy bear page, I stamped the word teamwork here because it's just so sweet. And they're working together to decorate that tree. And I made a tag to put inside. This one is just a piece of cardstock, I believe, and a couple of different pieces of scrapbook paper and a sticker. And then this is some snowflake trim that I put across the top. It kind of helped differentiate it from the color that was here because it was green on green. And then on the back I just put some vintagey colored craft wrapping paper, and I can journal on that pretty easily too. So that goes in there, and then you can see this much better now because of the white up here, and you can see the little snowflakes when the journal's closed. Okay. So this one is 2 card fronts. This one's just the beautiful image, and I just love it. It's beautiful colors, and it says Jesus is the gift, and I love that. And I love this card too, with its simple little squares full of Christmas icons. And then here's the little tag that I sewed on earlier today to add that little bit of stitching at the top, and it just looks so nice next to the background. All right, this is another napkin, and I glued it to a piece of cardstock and made a pocket and put in another card front. So this was gorgeous. In fact, this is the card that the little tiny tag came out of that had the several stockings together. It was part of this card. So, oh, and this one I did decorate the back just a little bit. There were some words here that I covered with a piece of gift wrap, and I stamped and colored a little image in the corner. Okay. Oh, and this is a little ornament that I attached here to go along with the stars there. And I think you've seen this. I haven't done anything different to this. Oh yes, I did add a piece of scrapbook paper to the back of this card front and tucked it inside. I have not done anything different to this. I did add the trim, but I think that was in a video, and I haven't done anything to the inside. Now I did add this. This is the other half of the large envelope. And this was a Christmas card image, and it didn't quite fit, so I added some washi tape above and below where the Christmas card didn't quite fit, so that made that look, it just made it look like it belongs, you know, and the gold over here works well with the gold here and the gold here, so I love it. Okay, and then inside, let's see, do I have anything? Oh yeah, that's just where this goes. Inside is the little bunnies go inside the window here. You guys have seen that if you saw that episode. Okay, and then I haven't done anything more inside here. This is still plain, and so it's available for little photos and journaling and whatever I want to do inside there. And then on the little nutcracker, this was a nutcracker card. I don't remember if I showed adhering this, but I did show it early on in the beginning of the filming of this series. And then this came off of a Christmas card that I added some little bits, little scraps of this paper to. And I just loved how it just popped it, made it come to life. I love it. So that's a little bit more of that paper on the back. So this is more of that paper. And this is where I attached my little tea bag and the little mistletoe cluster. I can't think of the word. The little cluster. And the reason that I added this white paper, you know, I told you I would show you, is because all of this is the same color. And so it kind of gets lost. And so with that little tiny scrap of white around just those two sides, it makes it visible all of a sudden. So I love that. This one worked out pretty well because it's got the red background here, and so you can see it. And I'm just so happy with the way that little vintagey looking page, actually this whole spread, I just love how it looks. And this is just a little tag attached here on top of a ribbon that I added. I'm just so happy with that whole layout. The nutcrackers all vintage. Just love it. Okay, now this page is, I mean, I can add more photos here, but this is so cute because it's got a little gift card holder here and it's interactive. So you open it up. Isn't that the cutest thing? And right here, I put this word, which I cut from, this phrase, which I cut from a Christmas card. I put it here, Joyful Christmas, but right here was where it had a $sign and the amount of the gift card that you would include in here. So I was able to just cover that up completely with fun little words. And I'm just really tickled with how that worked out. And the fact that that closes and opens like that is just adorable to me. So this was a Christmas card, and I made a flap and I covered it with more Christmas paper. And this one is scrapbook paper, so I have room to add photos and journaling maybe. And then the last page is very special to me. It talks about the real true meaning of Christmas, and I just love this card. It was just so beautiful and so rich in the colors. I loved it. So I kept that. And the inside was also decorated. And this was on the inside of another card, and the scripture, and I don't remember if it was on this card or a different card. I think it was a different card because this card was all yellow on the inside. So, and then this was a separate card, and I loved it, so I wanted to keep that. And it says the real gift of Christmas at the bottom. Just beautiful. And I thought that was a lovely way to end my Christmas journal. And I'm just so happy that it's so full of fun and enjoyment and special things, and that there's still room for me to put a little bit more inside of it. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this journey with me, and I hope that you've created your own Christmas junk journal. And if you did, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed mine, because I really, really have. And I'm glad I did it. I put it off for years and years, but I'm so glad I finally got everything out and actually put it together. So thank you for all of your kind comments and likes, and the fact that you were following along with this, even though it's now January. I really appreciate it, and I hope you will stay tuned and join me for the next adventures and the next videos that will come up this year. Take care, everybody, and thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.